The next topic is pure capacitive circuit. In this pure capacitive circuit, we are going to establish how the current and voltage are related with the phase, or what is the phase relationship between the current and voltage in a pure capacitive circuit we are going to discuss here. So for that we need to consider a pure capacitor, and that capacitor is to be connected across an AC voltage source. So let me take a capacitor of capacitance C, a capacitor of capacitance C which is connected across an input AC voltage source like this. This is an input AC voltage source whose applied voltage is equal to Vm sin omega t. So what is going to happen in this one we have to find out, and what is the current in the circuit we need to find out. As I know the voltage term, I need to find the current term, and then comparing the current term with the voltage term we are going to see what is the phase relationship between a voltage and current in a pure capacitive circuit. So what we have chosen here? So we have chosen that there is a capacitor. So consider a capacitor of capacitance C, consider a capacitor of capacitance C which is connected with an input AC voltage source, an input AC voltage source as shown. Here the applied voltage is represented by, here the applied voltage is given by V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Yes or no? This is the applied voltage here. Vm sin omega t. Next, I need to find out the current. To find out the current, we need to know how much voltage is dropped across the capacitor. The voltage that is dropped across the capacitor is not a fixed value. It is changing with respect to time. So how the voltage is dropped across this capacitor means, according to the previous knowledge that is in capacitor topics, we have seen that CV is equal to Q, or V is equal to Q by C is the voltage drop across the capacitor. Now the voltage drop across capacitor is given by the voltage drop across capacitor. The voltage drop across capacitor is given by which formula? V is equal to Q by C. But what is this applied voltage V here? Applied voltage V is nothing but Vm sin omega t. Or using the KVL rule, we can go with the KVL rule also. V minus Q by C is equal to 0. This implies Vm sin omega t is equal to Q by C using equation 1. Yes or no? Now from this, Q is equal to Vm into C into sin omega t. Shall I write like this or not? I got the value of charge, but I want the current. How the current and charge are related? We know that current I is equal to dq by dt. We know that current I is equal to dq by dt is the instantaneous current formula. Therefore, I is equal to d by dt of, what is the value of Q here? Q is, now this Q is replaced with this Q. Therefore, this is Vm into C into sin omega t. This implies I is equal to, here if you see the capacitance of a capacitor is fixed value, Vm is the maximum value of voltage which is also constant, and the constant terms can be written out of differentiation. Therefore, I can write it as I is equal to Vm into C into d by dt of sin omega t. What is the differentiation of sin omega t? Differentiation of sin omega t is nothing but cos omega t. Therefore, I can write it like this. This implies I is equal to Vm into C into. Here omega t is there, but here t only there. Therefore, multiply with omega here, and here also you multiply with omega. Then what I can write? Omega into d by dt of omega t into sine omega t. Yes or no? So this implies I is equal to Vm into omega c into d by dt of, so if I take it as theta, d by d theta of sine theta, where theta is equal to omega t. Then what I can write? D by dx of sin x is cos x, d by d theta of sin theta is cos theta. Therefore I can write it as Vm, this can be written as 1 by omega c into d by d theta of sin theta is cos theta. But what is theta here? Omega t. Therefore I is equal to Vm divided by, take it as chi c into cos omega t, where what is this chi c represent? Chi c is equal to 1 by omega c represents what? Generally here I being the current, this entire term should represent the current. But this being the voltage, voltage by something is current means that something should be resistance. But here this is the resistance offered by whom? Capacitor. Therefore the resistance offered by the capacitor to the AC current is said to be the capacitive reactance. The opposition to the flow of AC current, in a pure capacitive circuit is said to be the capacitive reactance. Just like the opposition to the flow of AC current in a pure inductor is called inductive reactance, the opposition to the flow of AC current in the capacitive circuit is said to be the capacitive reactance. This is called what? Capacitive reactance. And if you see this capacitive reactance, how it is depending on frequency and capacitance. This chi c can also be written as 1 by omega is nothing but 2 pi f into c. So this implies chi c is inversely related with frequency and inversely related with capacitance. So what is the graph for chi c versus f? Inverse relation there means the graph is a rectangular hyperbola. So chi c versus f graph is rectangular hyperbola. If the frequency is more, then the reactance is less. If the frequency is less, then reactance is more. So low frequency currents will be blocked by the capacitive circuit, or capacitor does not allow the DC current, whereas it will allow the AC current. So capacitor blocks DC while allows AC, and that too which AC currents it will allow means high frequency means low reactance will be there and it will be allowing. So in inductor it does not allow the high frequencies and allows the low frequencies, and in capacitor it does not allow low frequency but allows high frequency currents. So capacitor blocks DC currents and allows AC currents. And if you see here, finally I can write it as I is equal to, this entire term is now representing the maximum current, therefore Im into cos omega t, which can be written as I is equal to Im into sine of omega t plus pi by 2. Sin 90 plus theta is nothing but cos theta. Therefore this, if you see, take it as equation number 2. On comparing equation 1 with equation 2, what you are understanding? Here sin omega t is there, but here sin omega t plus 90 is there, or omega t plus pi by 2 is there. So here which is leading? Omega t is more or omega t plus pi by 2 is more? Omega t plus pi by 2 is more. How much more? It is more by 90 degrees. Therefore this is leading this. What is this here? Current. And what is this here? Voltage. So current leads voltage by 90 degrees. In a pure capacitive circuit, current leads voltage by, in pure capacitive circuit, current leads, or I leads voltage. Current leads voltage by 90 degrees or pi by 2. Or I can say that voltage is lagging current by 90 degrees. Next is about how the power is dissipated in this, or how much power is dissipated in this circuit, and the graphical representation and phasor representation for the pure capacitive circuit. Okay. So graphical representation of current and voltage in pure capacitive circuit. We have seen the graphical representation for current and voltage in pure resistive circuit, graphical representation of current and voltage in pure inductive circuit. Now we are going to see the graphical representation for current and voltage in the pure capacitive circuit. In this pure capacitive circuit, we know that current is given by the formula I is equal to Im into sin omega t plus pi by 2, whereas the voltage is given by the formula V is equal to Vm into sin omega t. Yes or no? If you see the two terms here, this is leading this value by 90 degrees. So current is leading and voltage is lagging. First graphically we will represent the variation of voltage with omega t. Variation of voltage with omega t, if you draw, the graph is nothing but what? A sinusoidal function. V is equal to Vm sin omega t, therefore the graph is a sinusoidal function. So I am writing it, drawing it like this. This is how the voltage is varying. Yes sir. So this is representing the maximum value of voltage or the peak voltage Vm, and this is Vm sin omega t. Okay. Now current is leading, we are telling. So that means when voltage is 0 but current should not be 0 and it should lead. Therefore it should have maximum value. Therefore the graph is like this. The graph is in this way. So when this is 0, this must be maximum, and when this is maximum, the current should be 0. Therefore the graph is like this. Is it clear or not? So the graph is varying in this sense. So this is 0, this is maximum, this is maximum, this is 0, this is 0, this must be maximum, sorry. So like this it should vary. So this is 0, this must be maximum in reverse way, and this is maximum, this must be 0. Like this it should be varying. This is 0 means this must be maximum, and it's in this way it is varying. So this is Im, this is Im, and this represents Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. Is it clear or not? So this is also a function, cos graph, cosinoidal graph like this. So but what is the difference between the two means, when voltage is maximum, current is when voltage is 0, current is maximum, voltage maximum, current is 0. But here current is leading the voltage. This is a graphical representation for voltage and current in the case of pure capacitive circuit. Now we will be learning about the phasor diagram in this case. Phasor diagram. So in this one, which is leading which one? Current is leading the voltage. So let me take, this is the coordinate system, and in this coordinate system, this is the voltage axis. Let me choose. This is the voltage axis at some arbitrary instant of time. Now this is some omega t angle. It is moving with the phasor vector, the voltage phasor vector Vm is moving with an angular speed omega, and current vector should be like this. Actually current and voltage are scalars or vectors. Current is a scalar and voltage is also a scalar. But for problem simplifications, we will be taking some scalars in simple harmonic motions with the phasor representation. Phasor is a rotating kind of vector. And what is the angle between, this is the current amplitude Im, and now what is this angle between them? It is 90 degrees. That means this is omega t, means this total angle is omega t plus pi by 2. So this is the phasor representation for voltage and current in the case of pure capacitive circuit. Lastly, we will calculate the AC power dissipated in the capacitive circuit. Power dissipated in power dissipated in pure capacitive circuit. Pure capacitive circuit. Now, what is the AC power we are having? AC power is equal to AC voltage into AC current is the formula. So, what is the AC voltage and AC current here? PAC is equal to, VAC is nothing but Vm into sin omega t, and what is IAC? Im into sine omega t plus pi by 2. Now, what is the average value of this power? Average value of AC power dissipated through the capacitor circuit is nothing but this is. Average value while we are taking here, Vm is constant, Im is constant, so you can write them outside. Vm into Im into average value of sine omega t into sine omega t plus pi by 2. So here this is multiply with 2 and divide with 2. Then Vm into Im by 2 into 2 sine omega t sine omega t plus pi by 2. This is of the form 2 sine A sine B. 2 sine A sine B is nothing but cos A plus B minus cos A minus B. Therefore, this can be written as Vm into Im into Im divided by 2 into this can be written as average value of cos A plus B is this plus this is omega t plus pi by 2 is 2 omega t plus pi by 2 minus cos A minus B, this minus this cos of minus pi by 2. Cos of minus theta is nothing but cos theta. Therefore, I can write it like this. What is the cos pi by 2 value? Cos 90 value is 0. Therefore, this term becomes 0 and average value of this is how much? This is Vm into Im by 2 into average value of cos of 2 omega t plus pi by 2 minus 0. So, average value of cos function over a full cycle is always equal to 0. Therefore, this is Vm into Im by 2 into 0 which is equal to 0. That means, in a pure capacitive circuit also there is no power dissipation. Just like in the case of pure inductive circuit, in a pure capacitive circuit also there is no power dissipation but there is an capacitive reactance. A pure inductive circuit will have a capacitive reactance but there is no power dissipation. In pure inductive circuit as well as in pure capacitive circuit there is no power dissipation. There is a power dissipation only through the pure resistive kind of circuit. The opposition to the flow of current is said to be resistance. The opposition to the flow of AC current in the inductive circuit is said to be inductive reactance. The opposition to the flow of AC current in the pure capacitive circuit is called capacitive reactance. So, what is the power dissipated in pure capacitive and pure inductive circuit? The answer will be 0. In a pure capacitive circuit, current leads voltage by 90 degrees. Is it clear? This is about the pure capacitive circuit and a capacitor will allow AC current but blocks DC current. Capacitor does not allow dash current, they will ask. It does not allow the DC current. It will allow which current? AC current. Okay. This is about the pure capacitive circuit. Next we will learn about the LCR series circuit. Okay. So, next is about the LCR series circuit. This is one of the most important essay question that is there in this chapter and many number of years this question was repeated. In this question they will be asking obtain the expression for impedance of LCR series circuit and find the expression for current in the LCR series circuit or obtain the condition for resonance in LCR series circuit. Obtain the condition for resonance in LCR series circuit. So, in this LCR series circuit, we are having two types of descriptions for finding out the impedance and current. One is by analytical method and the other one is by the phasor method. So, here analytical method not there in our syllabus, that is deleted from the topics and we are having only the explanation of LCR series circuit by the phasor diagram. Only by phasor diagram we are going to find out the impedance of the circuit as well as the current in the circuit that is LCR series circuit. So, for that in this LCR series circuit how many terms are there? L stands for inductance, E stands for capacitance and R stands for resistance. We know that inductance will be there for inductor, capacitance will be there for capacitor and resistance will be there for resistor. That means in an LCR series circuit we must have an inductor, we must have a capacitor and we must have a resistor and these three must be connected in series along with an AC input source. So, what the three things are there here means an inductor is there, capacitor is there and a resistor is there. Let me draw the three things here. So, here there is an inductor of inductance L, capacitor of capacitance C and a resistor of resistance R. And how these three are joined means they are joined in series. And this combination is connected across an input AC voltage source. This is the input AC voltage source that we are taking here. This is applied voltage, I will take it as Vm sine omega t, alternating voltage. And this inductor is having an inductance L, capacitor is having a capacitance C, and resistor of resistance R is there. Now this is the applied voltage. This applied voltage will be dropped across inductor, capacitor as well as across the resistor. Let me take the voltage drop across the inductor as V suffix L and the voltage drop across the capacitor as V suffix C, whereas the voltage drop across the resistor as V suffix R. So if you go with the phasor kind of representation, we are taking this VL, VC and VR as phasors. That means this is taken as a vector notation, this is in vector notation, this is in vector notation we are taking. Phasor is nothing but a rotating vector whose projections on y-axis are going to give the voltages across the inductor, capacitor as well as the resistors. This is the applied voltage. Is it clear or not? So here, according to phasor diagram, what I can say. Before that, let me write what I have taken here. So in an LCR series circuit explanation, we have taken an inductor, capacitor and a resistor. So consider an inductor of inductance L. Consider an inductor of inductance L capacitor, capacitor of capacitance C and a resistor of resistance R. Let these three, how they are connected? They are connected in series. Let these three are connected in series across a voltage source, an AC and across an AC voltage source. AC voltage source as shown. Here the applied voltage is given by, the applied voltage is given by, or the applied sinusoidally varying voltage is given by, applied voltage is given by V is equal to Vm sine omega t. But this voltage will be dropped across the capacitor, across the inductor as well as across the resistor. Now, according to Ohm's law, we know that V is equal to IR, where I is the current and R is the resistance. Here, the resistance across the inductor is chi L and the resistance across the capacitor is chi C. And more clearly, instead of calling resistance, we will be calling them as reactances. So, capacitor reactance is chi C and inductor reactance is chi L. So, here, voltage drop across in resistor, V suffix R is equal to current I into R, where I is the current at some arbitrary instant of time. Similarly, voltage drop across capacitor, V suffix C is equal to I into resistance offered by capacitance is nothing but chi C, and voltage drop across inductor V suffix L is equal to I into chi L, where chi L is equal to omega L and chi C is equal to 1 by omega C. Yes or no? Now here, apply the KVL for this. Applying Kirchhoff voltage law for the circuit, what we are having? Applying Kirchhoff voltage law for the LCR circuit, what we are getting? Applied voltage is V minus Across the inductor, the voltage drop is L into di by dt, and across the capacitor it is minus q by c, and across the resistor it is minus I into R. So once the loop is over, you have to equate it to 0. Therefore, I have tried it as V is equal to L into di by dt plus q by c plus IR. So if we solve this equation, we can get the equation for current. By analytical method, we have to solve this one. Then we will be getting the value for current using this equation. Okay. But here, instead of going for that analytical treatment, we are using the phasor treatment for solving the problem here. So for that, using the phasor diagram, what I can say? Using or the phasor diagram for this LCR circuit is as follows. The phasor diagram for this LCR circuit, for this LCR circuit is as follows. So what is this diagram means? Let me take this x-axis is representing the voltage drop across the resistor. This is representing the voltage drop across the resistor. This is V suffix R. So in inductive circuit, we know that voltage leads current. In the resistor circuit, voltage and current are in phase. This is the voltage and current equations. So voltage and current are in phase in the case of pure resistor circuit. In pure inductive circuit, voltage leads current. Therefore, this is the representation for voltage across the inductor. And here, this is the representation for voltage drop across the capacitor. This is Vc. So here, if this is I suffix R, current. So here current is leading current is leading voltage across capacitor. Here voltage is leading current across the inductor. Now this is one vector. If we take, this is another vector. This vector is having more magnitude compared with this one. So what is the resultant of these two? This is upward and this is downward. Resultant is VL minus VC. The resultant of these two is VL minus VC. So let me take it like this. This is representing VL minus VC. Okay. This is VL minus VC. Here VL minus VC and VR, they are perpendicular to each other. The resultant of those two will be in what direction? So the resultant of these two, if I consider, the resultant of those two will be like this. This is the resultant. So here this is V suffix R. If you see here, this is the phasor diagram. Once again I will draw it more clearly here. It's the phasor diagram I am drawing once again here. So here this is representing the current and this is representing the voltage across the resistor. This is VR and this is current I. Current and voltage are in phase across the resistor. And across the inductor, voltage is leading the current. This is VL. And across the capacitor, current is leading voltage. This is VC. So current is leading voltage across capacitor. Across inductor, voltage is leading current. And across the resistor, current and voltage are in phase. Now what is the resultant of these two vectors? This is upward and this is downward. This is larger magnitude, this is smaller magnitude. If this is 5 and this is 3, the resultant is 5 minus 3, 2, which is upward. So here the resultant of these two will be upward and that is nothing but VL minus VC. Okay. Now this VL minus VC and this VR, they are perpendicular to each other. The resultant of those two will be drawn like this. So this is the final resultant V. So which is nothing but, if you take it like this, it is intersecting here, and here also if you drop it like this, we are getting like this. So this length is nothing but VL minus, it is going up like this, this is VL minus VC, and this is V suffix R. So it is a right angle triangle with some phase angle phi. So I am redrawing the diagram here. This is the V, this is VL minus VC, this is VR, and this is V. V is the resultant voltage, this is the phase angle, resultant phase. From phasor diagram, what I can say? From phasor diagram, I can say that, treating phasor as a vector, V bar is equal to this bar plus this bar according to triangle law of addition. V bar is equal to VR bar plus VL minus VC bar. VR bar plus VL bar minus VC bar. Is it clear or not? So this equation is not similar to the top with the DC currents. In the DC currents, applied voltage V is equal to this voltage plus this voltage plus this voltage. But here it is a vector addition but not the scalar addition. So here the resultant voltage V is equal to VR bar plus VL bar minus VC bar. So therefore, using this Pythagoras theorem, I can say that V square is equal to this square plus this square. That is VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. Or else V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. Is it clear or not? Now, how to write V? According to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. Here, V stands for resultant voltage. Resultant voltage is written as current into the total resistance or the effective resistance. The total resistance offered by LCR series circuit is said to be the impedance of the circuit. Or what is meant by impedance? Impedance is nothing but the total opposition to the flow of AC current. The total opposition to the flow of AC current is said to be impedance, and it is represented with the letter Z that I am going to write here. Now, from that equation, I can replace the terms V, VR and VL minus VC. Using our previous knowledge, we can write those things here. How we are going to write that, I will show it here. V means, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R, but here R means what? The total resistance offered by the LCR series circuit. Therefore, V can be written with I into Z. What is Z? This Z means, this Z is called impedance of the circuit. Impedance means what? Here V is to be replaced with I into Z. Actually, V is equal to IR is the formula that we know according to Ohm's law, where R represents the resistance of the circuit. But here the resistance of the circuit in AC cases is called as reactance. The total reactance offered to the AC current is said to be the impedance of the circuit. They will be asking the definition for impedance. What is meant by impedance? The total opposition to the for the AC current in the AC circuit is said to be the impedance, and impedance is indicated with the letter Z. So the impedance will have the same units as that of resistance, that is ohms. The unit for impedance is ohm, and the dimensional formula is nothing but the dimensional formula for resistance. What is impedance means? The total opposition to the flow of AC current in an AC circuit is said to be the impedance. Therefore, V is written as the applied or the resultant voltage V is equal to I into Z. That is equal to square root of VR square. VR square means what? VR is nothing but voltage drop across the resistor. Voltage drop across the resistor is how much? Voltage drop across the resistor is I into R. Now therefore, I can write that VR is nothing but I into R whole square plus VL minus VC whole square. VL means nothing but, VL is nothing but I into chi L, and Vc is nothing but I into chi C. Now I can replace those terms here. This is I into chi L minus I into chi C whole square. Now this implies what? Here I into Z is there, that is equal square root of. Here I square term will be there, I square into R square. And here also I, if I take common and square it, I will be getting I square term into chi L minus chi C whole square. This is nothing but I into Z is equal to I square if I take common, and if I bring it out of root, root of I square is I. Therefore I into square root of R square plus chi L minus chi C whole square. So what is this? I will be cancelled on both sides, then we are remain with Z. That means the impedance Z is equal to square root of R square plus. What is this chi L? Chi L is nothing but omega L. What is this chi C? 1 by omega C. So this Z is equal to square root of R square plus chi L minus chi C whole square represents the impedance of the circuit. Is representing what? Impedance of circuit. Is representing impedance of circuit or impedance of LCR circuit, LCR series circuit. Is it clear? This is the impedance formula. Once I got the impedance formula, we are having Vrms is equal to, from Ohm's law we are having Vrms is equal to Irms into Z. Vrms is equal to Irms into Z. This implies Vrms is equal to Irms into Z implies Irms is nothing but what? Irms is equal to Vrms divided by Z. Therefore, current in the AC circuit is given by, current in AC circuit is given by which formula? Current Irms is equal to Vrms by Z, but Z means I have calculated the value for impedance, and that we can substitute here. Substituting the value of impedance in the above in that equation, what we are going to get here? So Irms is equal to our current in the LCR series circuit. Irms is equal to Vrms divided by Z. What is that Z here? Z is nothing but the square root of R square plus chi L minus chi C whole square. This is the formula for current in the LCR series circuit. This is how we are able to calculate the impedance of LCR series circuit and the current in the LCR series circuit. And here we have to learn one more thing, that is called power factor. What is this power factor? Power factor is defined like this. Power factor is nothing but, from this triangle, what is the value of cos phi? Cos phi is equal to, here cos phi is equal to what? Cos phi is nothing but adjacent side divided by hypotenuse. Therefore I can write it as, so VR divided by adjacent side is VR, hypotenuse is VR, V. This implies cos phi is equal to, VR is nothing but I into R, voltage drop across resistor, and applied voltage is I into Z. This implies cos phi is equal to R by Z. So this term is said to be the power factor. Then what is power factor? It is defined as the ratio of dash to dash. The ratio of resistance of the circuit, resistance of the resistor to the impedance of the circuit is said to be the power factor, and it does not have any kind of units and dimensions. So what is power factor definition means? It is defined as the ratio of, it is defined as the ratio of resistance to impedance. Resistance to impedance. It does not have any kind of units and it does not have any kind of dimensions. And now in this LCR series circuit, does a current leads voltage or voltage leads current? If current leads voltage or voltage leads currents, by how much value it is leading is the question. And here in this phasor diagram, phi represents the resultant phase. Then let us calculate that resultant phase, which will tell us whether the current is leading the voltage or voltage is leading the current. That we are going to discuss here. Now, from this diagram I can say that once again from this triangle, right angle triangle, I can take the value of tan phi. Yes or no? From the triangle, tan phi is equal to, from right angle triangle, tan phi is equal to what? Tan phi is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. Therefore, VL minus VC divided by VR. So this implies tan phi is equal to, VL is nothing but I into chi L, VC is nothing but I into chi C, and VR is nothing but I into R. So here I can take I common, here I is there, I can cancel I terms. Then what is remained? Tan phi is equal to chi L minus chi C divided by R. Yes or no? This implies phi is equal to tan inverse of, phi is equal to tan inverse of chi L minus chi C divided by R. So what we are getting here? Phi is equal to tan inverse of chi L minus chi C divided by R, where chi L stands for omega L and chi C stands for 1 by omega C. Yes or no? If based on this we will be having some conditions. Case 1. If chi L is equal to chi L greater than chi C. Chi L greater than chi C means inductor effect is dominating capacitive effect. In the case of inductor, voltage leads current. Therefore, if chi L is greater than chi C, this term is positive or negative? This term is positive. So phi is equal to positive. Phi positive means if chi L is greater than chi C, then phi is positive, or then chi L minus chi C is greater than 0. Implies voltage leads current. Voltage leads current by phi is equal to tan inverse of chi L minus chi C divided by R. Is it clear? This is case 1. Case 2. If chi L is less than chi C, then chi L minus chi C is negative or not? Is less than 0. Less than 0 means, so here in this case who is dominating? Capacitor effect is dominating inductive effect. That means in the case of capacitor, who is leading? In the case of capacitor, current is leading voltage. In this case, voltage is leading current, but in this case, current is leading voltage. So in this case, inductive effects are dominating than capacitive effects. In this case, capacitive effects are dominating the inductive effects. Therefore, if chi L is less than chi C, then chi L minus chi C is less than 0, and this implies voltage lags or current leads. Voltage lags current by phi is equal to same angle, that is tan inverse of chi L minus chi C divided by R. Is it clear? And finally, the most important case, that is whenever chi L is equal to chi C. If chi L is equal to chi C, chi L is equal to chi C implies chi L minus chi C is equal to 0, implies tan phi is equal to 0, implies phi is equal to 0, implies current and voltage are in phase, implies current and voltage are in phase. Voltage are in phase. Neither current leads nor voltage leads. Both of them are in phase. So when this condition happens, whenever the inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance, then the voltage drop across inductor will be equal to voltage drop across capacitor. When this condition is satisfied, then the current and voltage are in phase. Generally we studied that current and voltage are in phase in the case of pure resistive circuit. Yes or no? That means LCR series circuit is now behaving like a pure resistive circuit. When does an LCR series circuit behaves like a pure resistive circuit? An LCR series circuit behaves like a pure resistive circuit whenever the inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance, or voltage drop across the inductor is equal to the voltage drop across the capacitor. That means when this condition is satisfied, I can say that the LCR series circuit is under resonance. What is this condition is said to be? Resonating condition. When does resonance takes place? Resonance of LCR series circuit takes place whenever the voltage drop across inductor is equal to voltage drop across the capacitor, or inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. Then what is the value of resonating frequency? We need to find out here. Okay. So lastly, in today's class we are learning about the resonance of LCR series circuit, or the calculation of resonating frequency. So what is meant by resonance? In first year we have studied, whenever the natural frequency is equal to the forced frequency, then we will say that resonance will happen. So at resonance, amplitude of oscillation will be large enough. So this is the reason why soldiers are asked to stop marching while they are crossing the bridge, because in previous years, long back, once what happened means, when the soldiers are marching the bridge was collapsed. Why? Because when the soldiers are marching with punctuality, the marching frequency is matching with the vibrating frequency of the bridge. In such a case, the bridge will oscillate with a large amplitude, and there is a chance for the bridge to damage or collapse. So at resonance, we are having some applications also. Not only some disadvantages, we are having some applications also. Suppose we are having earthquakes. The earthquakes is because of the resonance effect only. Whenever the earthquake frequency matches with the frequency of a particular building, then that building is going to damage. So if a particular place is getting damaged, means that particular building or monument constructing frequency will be matching with the seismic wave frequency. In such a case, the building or the monument will be oscillating with a large amplitude, and that is going to damage. So this is the disadvantage. Even we are also having the advantage of this resonance. We are having the nowadays whether we are using a radio or a TV, whatever it may be, we are setting some particular frequency. Suppose if you want to see particular GTV, only we have to set the frequency for GTV only. If you want to see the GTV and if we set the frequency of some other channel, we never see that channel. So that particular channel, if you want to set it, the applied frequency or setup frequency by us must be matched with the frequency of the given channel. Okay, that is how the resonance will be useful for us. So in the olden day tuning instruments of radios, when you are tuning the tuner in a radio, the column will be moving, vertical column will be moving whenever the frequency matches with the frequency of the station. The setting frequency of us is matching with the frequency of that particular radio station, then only we are able to hear that. So this is based on the resonance effect. Electrical resonance we will call. So here at resonance, what is happening? At resonance, the amplitude of oscillation will be large enough. Okay, we have conducted even in first year we have done some experiment in the lab, resonating air column experiment, or in the sonometer experiment. In the sonometer experiment or resonating air column experiment, the basic principle involved is nothing but resonance. In a resonating air column experiment, whenever the frequency of the tuning fork matches with the frequency of air column, then what happens? We will be hearing the booming sound. That is based on the resonance phenomenon. So at resonance, the amplitude of oscillation will be large enough. So here also at resonance, what is going to happen? If a LCR series circuit is under resonance, then what is the condition? For LCR series circuit to be under resonance, the basic condition is the voltage drop across the inductor must be equal to the voltage drop across the capacitor. Whenever the voltage drop across inductor, whenever voltage drop across inductor is equal to voltage drop across capacitor. Voltage drop across capacitor, then LCR series circuit will be under resonance. LCR series circuit is under resonance. Means what happens here? Resonance. here, that is VL is equal to VC. VL is equal to VC at resonance. This implies VL is nothing but I into chi L is equal to I into chi C. This implies chi L is equal to chi C. That means at resonance, inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. If this is a condition, what is chi L? Chi L stands for omega L and chi C stands for 1 by omega C. Already we discussed. Now what is this omega? Omega is the angular frequency and we can write omega is equal to 2 pi f. Therefore, from that I can write 2 pi f. I will take this f as resonating frequency, therefore f naught. 2 pi f naught into L is equal to 1 by 2 pi f naught into C. Now, bring this 2 pi f naught to this side. Then 2 pi into 2 pi is 4 pi square, 4 pi square. 2 into 2, 4 and pi into pi, pi square. F naught into f naught is f naught square. And this is 1 by, bring this L to this side, by LC. From this, f naught square is equal to 1 by 4 pi square into 1 by LC. This implies f naught is equal to square root of 1 by 2 pi whole square into 1 by LC. This implies square and root will cancel. Therefore, f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root LC. This is a formula for resonating frequency. A very important formula. What is the formula for resonating frequency? Resonating frequency of LCR series circuit f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root LC. That is 1 by 2 pi root LC is the formula. So, this is important for all kind of examinations. Is it clear? So, when we will say that LCR series circuit is under resonance, LCR series circuit is under resonance whenever the voltage drop across inductor is equal to voltage drop across the capacitor, or inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. Under this condition, resonating frequency is given by the formula f naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. Very important formula. And now, by varying the value of L and C, we can change the resonating frequency. So, in the case of radio tuner, there will be a variable type of capacitor. Like this, capacitor plates will be there and here one rotor will be there. Nothing but in the radio we will be having a tuner. The tuner, if you are turning, we are changing the effective area between the capacitor plates. So, when the effective area changes, capacitance changes. When capacitance changes, frequency changes. This is how, while you are tuning the tuner in a radio or olden days TVs, we are changing the capacitance. Changing the capacitance, we are altering the frequency. Altering the frequency, we can set the frequency equal to the frequency of the particular channel, and we will have the, we can listen to the channel under resonance. Is it clear? So, at resonance, what are the basic ideas we are having? Inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. Voltage drop across inductor is equal to voltage drop across capacitor. And one more thing is, as we know that applied voltage V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. At resonance, what I can say? At resonance, VL is equal to VC, therefore this term cancels. Therefore, V is equal to square root of VR square. This implies applied voltage is equal to voltage drop across the resistor. So, at resonance, the applied voltage will be exactly equal to the voltage drop across the resistor, and the LCR series circuit will behave like the pure resistive circuit. So, at resonance, what I can say? At resonance, very important theoretical question. At resonance, LCR series circuit behaves like pure resistive circuit. Behaves like which circuit? Pure resistive circuit. That means at resonance, the power consumption will be maximum. At resonance, power consumption is maximum. At resonance, power consumption is maximum. And at resonance, as it behaves like pure resistive circuit, current and voltage are in phase. At resonance, current and voltage are in phase. Current and voltage or in phase, or in phase. Otherwise, the phase difference between current and voltage is 0 at resonance. So, what are the conditions we had for resonance? At resonance, voltage drop across inductor is equal to voltage drop across capacitor, and the applied voltage will be equal to the voltage drop across the resistor, and at resonance, inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. At resonance, LCR series circuit behaves like pure resistive circuit. At resonance, power consumption of the circuit is maximum, and at resonance, current and voltage are in phase. And what is the formula for resonating frequency? Resonating frequency F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root LC. This is the formula for resonating frequency. And we have to calculate the power dissipated in the AC circuits. Okay. For today's class, lastly we will discuss about the power dissipated in the LCR series circuit. Let us consider the voltage, applied voltage in LCR series circuit is represented by V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and current in the circuit is represented by I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi, where phi is the phase difference between the current and voltage. So, let applied voltage is equal to applied voltage V is equal to Vm into sin omega t, while current in LCR series circuit is equal to current in the circuit is I is equal to Im into sin omega t plus phi, where phi is the phase difference between the voltage and current. Phi is the phase difference between voltage and current. Now, what is the power dissipated in this case? Now, power dissipated, AC power PAC is equal to VAC into IAC. Since we know that power is equal to voltage into current. From DC case, we know that in the power is equal to voltage into current. In the similar way, AC power is equal to AC voltage into AC current. This implies AC power is equal to AC voltage is Vm into sin omega t, and AC current is Im into sin omega t plus phi. Yes or no? So, this is one term and this is another term. So, if you see here, I can write this as AC power is equal to, write this Vm into Im aside, Vm into Im into sin omega t into sin omega t plus phi. Shall I write like this or not? Now, this into this. Now, if you see here, multiply this term with 2 and divide with 2, then what we are getting? PAC is equal to Vm into Im divided by 2 into 2 sin omega t into sin omega t plus phi. Shall I write like this or not? So, if you see this term here, this is of the form 2 sin A sin B. 2 sin A sin B is nothing but cos of A plus B minus cos of A minus B. Therefore, according to that, I can write it as PAC is equal to Vm, this 2 can be split as root 2 into root 2, therefore Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2 into 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2, splitting root 2 for 2 terms, Vm by root 2 into Im by root 2 into, this can be written as 2 sin A sin B can be written as cos of A plus B minus of cos of A minus B. This is A term, this is A term and this is B term. Now, then what I can say? Cos of A plus B means what? Cos of omega t plus phi, that is omega t plus omega t is 2 omega t plus phi, minus cos of this minus this, then what you are having? Omega t minus of omega t plus phi, that is minus phi. Cos of minus phi is nothing but cos phi, because cos of minus theta is cos theta. So, what is remained here? This is what we are remaining. Now, this implies average value of AC power is equal to, average value of this is constant, therefore no need to take average for this. But what is Vm by root 2? Vm by root 2 refers to RMS value, Vrms, and this is Im by root 2 is IRMS, Vrms into IRMS into average value of cos of 2 omega t plus phi minus cos phi. Now, if you see here, this is nothing but what? Average value of AC power is equal to Vrms into IRMS into, sorry, this value will be phi So this is 2 sin A, sin B is nothing but cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. Then I can write like this, plus will be there. So here what is this term? This is average value of cos of 2 omega t plus phi plus average value of cos phi. Like this I can write. This implies Vrms into Irms into average value of this entire term will be, here t is a variable, time variable. Therefore, over a complete time interval, this value will become equal to 0 because average value of cos theta is equal to 0. Yes sir. Therefore, this term is nothing but 0 plus. But what is this average value of cos phi? Here phi is a phase which is constant and it is time independent function. As it is time independent function, it may be some 30 or 60 or 180 or some 27 degrees, which is a fixed value. As it is a constant, average value of constant is equal to that constant. Therefore, average value of cos phi is nothing but cos phi. Please don't confuse here. This average value is 0 because here t is a variable. So this value of t varies from 0 to 2t, 0 to capital T. Therefore, in one complete cycle, its value becomes 0. But in one complete cycle here, phi is a fixed value. Throughout the cycle, its value is fixed. Therefore, it does not change. Therefore, average value of this cos phi is equal to cos phi only. So, finally, what we are getting? Vrms into Irms into cos phi. So, this is the average value of AC power in a LCR series circuit. And very important formula for board level to the competitive level of examination. For all kind of exams, this is an important formula. So here, this cos phi is said to be what? So generally power is nothing but voltage into current we are writing, general voltage. But in the case of AC, along with the voltage into current, we are having another factor called cos phi. And this is a factor related with the power, hence the name power factor. Previously I told you that power factor cos phi is equal to R by Z. Why that cos phi is called power factor means this cos phi is related with the power term in the AC circuits. Therefore, as this is the term which is telling about the AC power, this cos phi is the factor representing the power, hence the name power factor. So, cos phi is said to be the power factor of the LCR series circuit and it is defined mathematically as the ratio of resistance to the impedance of the circuit. So, whenever the cos phi is equal to 0, then we will have the AC power is equal to 0. Whenever cos phi is equal to 1, then AC power is equal to maximum. Where this cos phi, already we discussed that power factor cos phi is equal to R by Z. Where Z is equal to square root of R square plus chi L minus chi C whole square. Yes or no? See here, at LCR, when the LCR series circuit is at resonance, then chi L is equal to chi C, this term becomes 0, then only R square root is there, therefore square root of R square is R, Z is equal to R. Z is equal to R means cos phi is equal to 1, that means maximum value. So power dissipated is maximum at resonance. Is it clear? If it is a pure resistive circuit, then Z is equal to R. Again, cos phi is equal to 1. For pure inductive circuit, what is there? Inductor is there, but resistance and capacitor are absent. So R is equal to 0 and chi C is equal to 0. R is equal to 0 means 0 by something is always 0. Therefore, in pure inductive circuit, AC power dissipated is 0. In pure capacitor circuit, again resistance is not there, only capacitance is there. So chi C is there, but what is not there? These two terms are not there. Therefore, R is 0, 0 by Xc or chi C. 0 by something is equal to 0, therefore power consumed is equal to 0. So there is a power dissipated only in the pure resistive circuit, but there is no power dissipated in the case of what? Pure inductive and pure capacitive circuits. There is no power loss for pure inductive and pure capacitive circuit. There is a power loss only in the case of pure resistive circuit. At resonance, LCR series circuit behaves like a pure resistive circuit. Is it clear or not? And what is the formula for RMS power? AC power? AC power average value is equal to Vrms into Irms into cos phi. So this cos phi is said to be what? Power factor. And here this is a component. one of the component of RMS current, IRMS into cos phi. Similarly, we will be having another term called IRMS into sin phi. This IRMS into sin phi is said to be the wattless current. This is said to be wattless current. Because of this current, there is no power loss. Hence the name wattless current. So, IRMS into sin phi is said to be which current? Wattless current, useful for competitive part of examinations. In the next class, we will study about the quality factor and the transformer cases. Okay, thank you.